Okay guys, so for this video we're going to go over 2.7% of change. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how things go into percentage. Right? It's kind of like ratios and proportions, but now we're in saying percent. So let's take a look at it. Alright, so right here, what now we're going to do, what our goal is we want to find the percent of change. So did it go up 10%, down, okay? 2, solve problems involving percent of change, right? That's what we're going to do. Now, percent of change means, well, a change in percentage, like your grades. Your grades are 73%, then they either go up or down, right? If you do really well on a test, your percent usually goes up. If you do really bad on a test, your percent usually goes down, right? It can go, or if you do exactly the same, you could somewhat stay the same. So our percent can increase or it can decrease. But how do we figure that out? Well, what happens here is we either increase or decrease. And so what ends up happening, I like comparing it to Instagram. So my first photo got 20 likes and my final or my second photo got 23 likes. So if I got more likes on my second photo than I did on my first photo, that means my percent probably increased. But the question is, how much did it increase? And this is how you do it. Step 1, you take the second photo, or you take your second amount, and you subtract it from the original, or the first amount. I got a total of 3, right? So I went up 3. How do I know what percent that is? Well, next, what you do is you put the difference, right? The difference on top. See that 3? I have that difference there. It goes on top. But what goes on the denominator? Well, the denominator is my original. Whatever I start out with. Well, on my first one, I had my original was 20. So that's why 20 goes on the bottom. Now, notice what they set it equal to. They set it equal to R over 100. Now, the reason they're doing that is because we're trying to figure out the percentage. And see, percentage is always out of 100%. If you do everything right, you get 100%. You miss one, go down. Right? Can you go over 100%? Sure. If you have over a whole amount. 100% is a whole thing. 100% is all of it. If you have more than like one whole pizza is 100% of a pizza. But if you're just referencing one pizza and you get 2 pizzas, then you have 200% of pizzas. Okay? Something like that. So that's why it's R over 100, and R represents my percentage. Right? So the way I'm going to solve that is I have to cross multiply, just like you did for proportions when you had to solve for x. So when I cross multiply, I end up with 3 times 100 equals R times 20. Now to get rid of that 20, I have to divide by 20. That's where this comes from. And then I end up getting R equals 15. And that means that my percent increase. So if I had 20 likes and I go to 23 likes, I increased by 15%. Alright? Now what happens if you decrease? You're going to do the exact same thing. See, first photo 25, second photo I got 17. I went down 8. So since I went down, it's a negative 8. Now what ends up happening? I put negative 8 over the original. What was the original? 25. Equals R over 100. Same thing. Now I just have to cross multiply. Alright, I'm going to cross multiply. And I get negative 8 times 100 equals 25R. Alright, divide by what? 25 to get R by itself. When I do that, I end up getting R equals negative 32, or technically I decreased, or I went down 32%. And that's it. Okay, that's all. Now on your worksheet, if you look at your worksheet, the problems that you have to do that fit example 1 are problems 1 through 9 on the worksheet. Problems 1 through 9 on the worksheet are the ones that fit this example. So numbers 1 through 9. Alright? Now we have to find the total price of each item. That's on your worksheet. So if you look right here though, they still give a real world example. This one's a little different, but I'm not worried about that right now. We're worried about the worksheet and basic stuff. So we're going to go to example 3. Alright, so now I need to solve problems with sales tax. So you see this all the time when you go to the store, right? And then you calculate you have to pay taxes on it. So this is problems 10 through 15 on the worksheet. This is how you're going to do them. So look how it says. It says Marta is purchasing wire and beads to make jewelry. That happens all the time. Her merchandise is $28.62 before tax. If the tax is 7.25% of the total sales, what is the final cost? All right. So I need to find out how much am I actually going to pay. So here's what happens. I have 7.25% of $28.62. So it's the percentage of the total amount. Notice though it's just $28.62, but look how they multiply it by 0.0725. What the heck? Why is it 0.0725? Well, I like to reference it for money. All right? So for money, right, if I have 10 cents, right, that's 0.10, right? If I have 20 cents, that is what? 0.20. Why is it 0.20 though? Because I need 100 cents. I need 100 cents to get what? 1.0, which is $1. Same with this. If I have 7.25%, what is that? Well, how much is a whole thing? If you have a whole thing, a whole pizza, a whole anything, that is 100%. But what do I have? 7.25%. Well, 7.25% is kind of like 7 cents. 7 cents. So how would I write that? Well, 0.07. But I have a little bit extra. I have 25. So 0.0725. That is why I change it to a decimal. All right? I need to change it to a decimal. Now when I do that, when I multiply all of that, what ends up happening is I end up finding out this. And what that is right here is it's letting me know, hey, this is how much I need to add to my total amount. That's how much taxes I have to pay. But we end up rounding it to cents. So you see right here, this is actually $2.07. But see how there's a 4 right there? Wait, whoops. Okay, see how there's a 4 right here? If I can get this to point. Alright, I have to round it then to the nearest cent. My iPad's lagging, guys. If it's looking all weird, don't worry about it too much. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so you see that 4 right here. There's a 4. If I could erase again. I don't know why my iPad's being really weird. Okay, we have to round it to the nearest cent. Since it's a 4, that means it's 207. So now how do I get the final price? Well, I take the original price. I take the original, I don't know what's going on, guys. Hold on. Okay, I take the original, I'm going to take the original price and I'm going to add it, okay? So now I know that I end up having to pay $30.69. All right? That's how I end up doing those problems. All right, guys. So if you look right here for the guided practice, what ends up happening here is notice it says a new DVD costs $24.99. If the $24.99. If the sales tax is 6.85%, what is the total cost? So what I did is I did $24.99 times, notice 0.0685. Why did I do that? Remember, 6.85 is 6%, or 6.85%. So in cents, I have to put 0.0685. It's not close enough. It's not one whole dollar yet. Right? It's 6.85% of a dollar, 6 cents of a dollar. When I got that, I got 1.5618, meaning if I round it, $1.56. So what I have to pay the cashier is $24.99 plus the tax of $1.56, and I end up getting $26.55. But what happens if I get a discount? If I get a discount, this is problems numbers 16 through 21 on your worksheet. All right? That means I have to pay less, right? We want a discount. So look at this one. Since Tyrell earned good grades in school, he qualifies for the good student discount on his car insurance. His monthly payment without the discount is $85. All right. So before he paid $85, but now he gets a discount of 20% off what will he pay each month? This right here, good student discount, did you guys know that is a real thing? If you have good grades, some insurance companies, if your parents turn in your grades, they get a discount. So find the discount. Well, the discount, they say, is 20%. How would I write that as a decimal? Well, 20% is not 100, it's not a whole dollar, it's just 20 cents, so it would be 0.20. All right? So now, how am I going to do that? Well, notice, same thing as we did in the last one, is 0.2 times 85. When I did 0.2 times 85, notice that they ended up getting something. What did they end up getting? They ended up getting 17. But the question is, since it's a discount, am I going to add it to the 85 or am I going to subtract it? Well, since it's a discount, I'm taking it away, so it's 85 minus 17. So now, what he's going to have to pay is only $68 a month. So he saves himself $17 a month and only has to pay $68. So take a look at this one. A picture frame originally priced $14.89 and it got 40% off. Now your favorite one's 50% off. Why 50? Well, 50% off is what? 50% off is half, so you just cut it in half. But let's do just the normal way that we're teaching. And I'll teach you tips and tricks on other ones. $14.89 times, well, 40% is not 100, it's not a whole dollar, so it's times 0.4. It's 40 cents. Okay? So $14.89 times 0.40. What do I get? Well, 14.89 times 0.4 equals 595.6. Ooh, since this is a 6, I'm going to have to round it to 596. All right, now the question is, though, am I going to add it to 14.89 or subtract it? Well, since it's a discount, I subtract. So 14.89 minus 596, I end up getting 3, 9, and 8. So my new price of this picture frame is going to be $8.93. All right. Now notice on your worksheet, though, we also have 22 through 24. That one's different. This one, we're combining example 4 and example 3. You have to what? Do a discount and then do the tax. So you're going to tax after you do the discount. All right. I'll probably do one of these in class in the future. No, in class, maybe today. We'll see. All right. The word problems, you do not have to do those. You do not have to do the word problems for this worksheet. In the future you will, but not yet. All right? All right.